The middle stages of a Minecraft survival world. At this point, you've geared up, maybe iron or diamond armor, explored your world, mined a lot, and now a lot of us know what comes next. The Nether, a whole new dimension that's heckish, harsh, and unforgiving. It can be tough to explore, especially for new players, but is vital to progressing in the game. This video is going to show you how to explore and raid the Minecraft Nether safely in the latest and newest version. So first, let's go over how to get to the Nether. This is very simple and has never changed. You'll need to build a portal out of 10 to 14 obsidian blocks and then light it. Obsidian is easy to get. Just find a lava pool somewhere and pour a water bucket over it. Because it's tough though, you'll need a diamond pickaxe to mine it, so you should have had to find some diamonds already. The portal frame is easy. It doesn't really matter exactly how you build it, you just need to make sure it's a frame with a 2x3 block hole in the middle of it. Get yourself a flint and steel, light it, and you should be ready to go. Now stepping in for the first time is probably the hardest part. If you feel scared and you're able to respawn, you can take very little items like just tools and food and then come back with more stuff. Once you actually enter the portal though, the most important thing is that you immediately check all your surroundings. A lot of the time, nether spawns have mobs nearby or lava flowing down from the roof, so before you start getting caught up in the landscape, just do this quick check. It'll prevent 90% of deaths here. After you've checked around, there are many different biomes and situations the nether can spawn you in. If you spawn underground or in a wall, you just need to dig yourself a way out, not really much to it. The exact biome you're in, it doesn't really matter. They're all dangerous and hostile except for the blue warped forest. If you spawned here, you're really lucky because you're basically safe. There's no hostile mobs, just lava of course. On the topic of lava, it's probably the biggest threat to your life that you'll face in this dimension besides monsters. There are entire lakes of it lining the floor, there are pockets of it in the walls, and the best part is that lava flows twice as fast in the nether as it does in the overworld, and you can't place water to put yourself out as it instantly evaporates. But don't worry, this is pretty easy to combat. First, the simplest tip is just don't move as freely as you would in the overworld. The nether is unforgiving. If you accidentally jump or step somewhere, that could mean falling into a pit of magma and losing all your stuff. Traverse the landscape carefully, keep your eyes peeled for big drops and cliffs, and use blocks to your advantage if you need to. Blocks are awesome for covering holes or bridging across overhangs and lakes of lava. The second tip is to try not digging in any walls if you can, at least for now, to avoid that threat of lava popping up. Especially as a new player, it can be difficult to react to that in time. Now that we've covered that, let's talk about the most common, not all, but the most common hostile monsters you'll face here. The list is actually surprisingly short, and the mobs aren't even that difficult to deal with either, despite how daunting they seem. First up, we got the piglin. These guys spawn in almost every biome and erratically attack you, which can be really scary, but they are actually only conditionally hostile. If you wear at least one piece of gold armor, even boots, they will be completely passive. Gold is really easy to get. You probably already have it at this point from your overworld mining expeditions, but if not, the nether has plenty. There are these nether gold ore veins scattered about. Just look for these and mine them out. Turn the nuggets into ingots and craft gold armor. After this, just don't attack the piglins or break chests or gold in front of them and you're fine. After that, zombie pigmen. These guys look creepy, but they actually don't attack you unless you hit them first. So just don't hit them, plain and simple. There are skeletons. You'll mainly encounter these in the Soul Sand Valley. They are just like overworld skeletons, so pretty chill. Just use a shield. The magma cube. This guy is rare, but if you encounter one, he jumps towards you and attacks you. If you kill him, he splits into tinier versions of himself. He's really slow though, so just keep your distance and waste away at the tiny cubes until they're all dead. Now possibly the most annoying mob is the ghast. This guy flies in the sky and shoots exploding fireballs at you while screaming. The fireballs will explode your surroundings on impact, but are relatively easy to just avoid. The main problem with this guy is killing him because he flies. If you can craft yourself a bow, it's really cheap, plus you can get some arrows either by crafting them with flint, feathers, and iron, or trading them with villagers, which I personally like more. Having a bow means you can just shoot this guy out of the sky as soon as you see one. If you find yourself without that option though, their fireballs are actually deflectable if you punch them. It's not always the most reliable strategy, but you can just aim and punch the fireball right back in his face. So now that you know how to survive the Nether, we need to answer that one burning question. Why are we actually here? Well, our main goal is to beat the game and get the elytra, but to do that, we need to find a very specific structure in the Nether called the Nether Fortress. This structure spawns in every Nether biome, but is quite rare, and you'll probably need to do some exploring to find one. This is why I went over all these survival tips earlier to make that part less terrifying. But first, one of the most important things before you go looking for a fortress is to note down the coordinates of your Nether portal. So turn the coords on and write them down. It is super easy to get lost in this dimension, and if you're due, you're just basically fried, so make sure to do that before you venture out. Now once you find yourself a Nether fortress, don't worry, it can take a long time, so don't get discouraged. You'll need to of course enter it, but preferably with at least some gear on you. It doesn't need to be your best, but at least something, as there are some threats in here. Mainly, you got the wither skeleton and the blaze. The wither skeleton, unlike the regular version, doesn't shoot. It has a sword and charges you, but if it hits you, it will inflict a poison-like effect called wither that slowly chips away at your health bar for a short period. And because the fortress is so dark and narrow, they can surprise you quite easily. Make sure to have a shield and bring a lot of food, and of course, use a bow and arrow from a distance on them if you can. They are not really important right now though. The main guy we're after is the blaze. This guy spawns in these spawn cages called blaze spawners that will continuously spawn them. Think of the spawner like a water fountain, except it's with blazes. You want to find this blaze spawner cage because, like I said, blazes are important, and this is the best way to get a lot of them. Why are they important? Well, blazes upon death occasionally drop these items called blaze rods. These are literally essential to opening the final portal that allows you to beat the game. So you need to get a really good amount of these, like 10 to 20. The thing is, blazes are dangerous mobs and don't give up their lives that easily, but they're still pretty simple to deal with once you know how to, so don't worry. The way blazes attack is they charge up with an animation where it looks like they're on fire. After in this state for a few seconds, they will rapidly spit out 3 fireballs in quick succession directly at you. These fireballs can be avoided, but unlike ghasts, they can't be deflected. They can only be blocked either with physical blocks or a shield, and if they hit the floor, the blocks that it hits will catch fire. And if you get too close to the blaze, they instead have a melee attack. That's it. That's their whole gimmick, and there's so many ways to combat them. First of all, if you're dealing with a single blaze and you're relatively close, it's pretty safe to just rush them. Their fireball attack has a cooldown, so if you just wait out the first one with a shield, you can charge them and get 3 or 4 quick hits on them to kill them. Make sure to time your hits properly if you're playing on Java Edition. If it's multiple blazes though, or you're relatively far from them, you can also use a bow. It's a great strategy, and you can either avoid or use your shield to block their fireball attacks. Blocks are also really helpful. If you can get blocks to hide behind when the blaze is firing at you, these really help in your ability to safely kill them. It might take some time to get 10 to 20 rods. It's okay, blazes can be pretty annoying, and they don't always drop their rods when they're killed. Once you've gotten about 10 to 20 though, you can head back to your Nether portal and safely exit the dimension. Of course, there are more things to the Nether, more structures and such, but those are mostly side quests and we can do them on a later date. After this, you're comfortably more than halfway to beating the game, and in the next videos, we're just gonna do a few more things and check more boxes in the overworld, and after that, we can jump into that final portal to see what it has in store for us. If you guys did enjoy this video, then please consider dropping a like and a sub, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.